Hello, we're live again. How are you? Our visionary entrepreneurs, life changers in our Facebook group, Abundant Entrepreneurs. I'm super happy that we are back today on Monday. Are you ready? Are you excited for today? Every Monday we'll be bringing new topics and great inspirations and also empowerment to you, our dear visionary entrepreneurs, life changers, inside of our Facebook group, Abundant Entrepreneurs. Today is our 68th episode already. I hope you will get a chance to review some of our previous topic and find great inspirations. We put all the replay on our YouTube channel. Okay, we will share that link later. But today, let's jump into our topic. Are you ready? Today is a big, like if you talk about, for example, economy. This is like a macro economy, right? Now, today we're talking about some things related to the whole coaching industry, either coaching, mentoring, the big industry like self-study, self-learning, and education industry. And there's some things I want to share with you. Is like I started my coaching 13 years ago, right? Sounds like a long time compared with some other industries, but in the coaching industry, because this is a new industry, only maybe around 30 or 40 years ago, I remember Tony Robbins claimed that he created a coaching industry. I'm not sure if that is totally true, but at least when he started coaching that time, it's already quite started to popular to become at the beginning of the popularity, right? And also, if you think about Napoleon Hill's book, Think and Grow Rich. That book is almost like it's like a little bit Bible of mindset Bible, right, for the coaching industry, and so many of you maybe have already read that. So that's just dozens of years ago, and so 13 years compared with the whole coaching industry, just within the recent dozens of years. So it's quite long already, right? But I've already noticed and observed a big difference of almost like an industry culture. The evolution you could call revolution or evolution, and there's some big difference. What's the big difference? I remember when I just started coaching, this industry is super inspiring, and all those great ones, I would say, those great mentors and the leading leaders in this industry, super inspiring, and the messages they're sharing, and it's very empowering. And it's great trend, like this industry is become more popular, and so many every year. I don't know how exactly the numbers, and you could do some research, right, in the market, like so many. But if you can observe around you, more and more coaches, just like sprouts, right? Like now it's the spring season. Now the sprouts just come out. Sometimes it's just like overnight, you may get a little bit shocked. Wow, there are so many coaches around, right? And this industry is so diversified. That's a great thing, actually. So diversified, but because of lack of regulation, so almost like anyone could claim that they're a coach. It's just like yesterday they're doing something else, and the next day they could become a coach. So that's like a good thing is diversified, but not good things there's no quite good at standards or criteria, and everybody in any industry, in any field, could claim that they're a coach or mentor, as long as they get some knowledge in certain area. They will call them like expert or coach, whatever. But that's not the only concern. But the biggest thing, I just noticed that the culture change is different. It's just like what we value the most totally changed, right? The culture. Like previously, we were so much into people's, I would say, empowering people's, their purpose, their passion, and what they are created for, right? Like to align with what you are called for. But now more and more every day, if you look at in this industry, there's so many different messages. But the major trend, if you notice, it's really what? This is like a question today I share with you. If you see the post, I share with you the third one. What kind of values they are teaching you, right? Okay, I want to start from the beginning. The first question is, what are you coached on? Is that's like a universal mindset. I know mindset is important, right? So many of our mentors and coaches have been emphasizing that mindset is like deciding 80% of your business success, and only maybe 20% of your success is really decided what specifically you are doing or providing. So the mindset, no matter what kind of expertise you have, eventually your mindset will really decide how big success you can make, right? So that's a great foundation. But then when you specifically get into, I don't know how much you've been investing yourself. I'm a fan of investing myself since maybe a few years, let me say 3 years into my coaching. Because like 13 years ago, right, I started my coaching. I already had international corporate experience. I was performance management. I also have my executive MBA background. So that time I thought, I've already got a lot of professional experience, so I should be good, right? But once I get into entrepreneurship, I just found, wow, it's totally different than just the passion, right? You could not create a successful business just with your passion or your even message, right? You really need to understand the different aspects of a business and how business is working, especially what it can really connect you with your ideal clients. And that's the tricks majority entrepreneurs, they fail in that. And sometimes we call, either you call like a niche, or some like a mentors, they would call your spot, your dot, or your sweet spot, different names, but it's all like related to where you really find your genius zone that you can contribute to your best gifts. And also you feel like aligned with your purpose, right? That's super important, because then you could, otherwise you will not enjoy it. Only when you fully align with your purpose, you will find that passion, that kind of a flow. They call that flow, right? You will feel that kind of bliss and flow in it. So, but then what you are taught about? And through all these years, I just found the more and more coaches, when they are teaching, because I've been investing myself, right? So 10 years ago, I've already been investing myself. Every year I did the tracking. My investment in myself every year is over 5 figures. So all these years I could really invest that money for some like a vacation house. But I'm so proud that I invest in myself, right? It's totally worth it. But at the same time, I am the observer to see. At the same time, I've been progressing, but another side, I also observed some big concern in this industry, like something, the whole culture, like I mentioned, and the trend is changing. Some focus people are putting on it, and the quality, because there are so many coaches right now. Like every day, you could somebody just get into the field, they learn a little bit knowledge, they can call. They are the coaches. So there's no standards, no really like regulations here. So it's like a free zone. It's totally like a free zone. One side, there's always like a two edges of a sword, right? One side is great because this is totally creative zone. Everybody could be your genius, the creator, and everybody could be like an innovator as well, and create so many diversified solutions. That's great. But at the same time, another side is like no standards, no big like a qualification, no regulation, and anybody could claim. So you need to have that. That's why our clients now, the audience now in this market could be more hesitating to choose or to find who are really the great ones, how to differentiate the great ones from just good ones, or just the regular ones, or some ones are not even there really, with that kind of heart and soul to serve, but instead they pursue more like materials, right, or more like money side of success. So that's what here I want to remind you to here today. I prepared 3 like questions, and also like 10 mistakes I summarized that from my observation I want to share with you in this industry. So that could help you. Either you are a coach, this could help you to improve, to see where you can provide better values. And if you are investing yourself, you are hiring your mentors, your coaches, right? I would always like always encourage you to do that, because without investing ourselves, we just stay at that level, like your current level. You cannot keep growing, right? And your self-study is important, but really invest in yourself to learn from the best in the industry or from the areas you want to grow is super important, because that's a really accelerated path. So I would encourage you to do that. But then from both coach's angle and also a client angle, how could you choose? So here are those questions. I hope today will inspire you to have a better reflection and also thinking. So when you invest yourself and when you are learning from your coaches and mentors, I'm not talking about those free, okay, free stuff. I personally, free stuff is good if you have really found your great role models, successful ones. You follow them, emerge into their communities, and then they often have quite some free stuff, right? You follow them like podcasts or YouTube channel. Those are great resources as well because it will keep you gradually progressing. But if you really want to have more accelerated progress, it's definitely invest the program, right, in more in depth. But now, here is another story. It's like there are different qualities. Through all these years, I just found I actually hired how many? I invested myself in dozens of programs and also hired over dozens of mentors, coaches, learned from all of them, different angles. I would say many of them are actually helpful on some specific things I want to learn. For example, either is on speaking, or either is on masterminding, or sometimes it's on like a joint venture partnership build up. Some are about the platform, the business system platform. Some are about marketing, like a webinar, or like, you know, different aspects. And some coaches are more focusing on your mindset, your spirituality as well. So all the different aspects, I would say they all helped me make progress at the different levels. But overall, I also observed that more and more now the trend is the coaching or the masterminding groups or those programs. You will meet what? You will meet a big group of people, especially the more successful mentors you hire, right? The bigger groups you will meet, and their community is huge. And you do not expect that you will get any customized content or guidance. So everything is universal. Universal mindset, those like wisdom, right? Universal wisdom. One side is good, but another side is not meeting you where you are. So sometimes you will feel like you have a too broad of guidance, and it's not very specific for you to make progress quickly. So for example, if you are attending a mastermind group, the coach or mentor have at least dozens or sometimes hundreds and sometimes even more, right? Thousands, like Tony Robbins, their level is like more than sometimes thousands, right? That kind of level of coaching, mentoring, it's a little bit challenging because you will get the generic strategies, you will get like standard level of skills or tools, everything that's like a predefined in that package. And now you are, you know, the best it's not like a best recommendation or guidance specifically for you and meeting you where you are. Of course, you like when you are listening other people asking questions, when they are get helped or answered questions, could be inspiring to you. But still, like, it's not specific, right? It's just like because I have the comparison when I'm coaching my clients, even though it's in that, but I always focusing on intimate small group, not so many, not over 20 like people, right? Less than that, because I could know them. I could really specifically provide the guidance based on everybody. Even though sometimes I'm sharing generic like a framework guidance, but then when we talk, because everyone they get extra time, right? So they will get to their specific personal level of customized coaching and guidance. So I know specifically what my clients are making the progress, and at their level, meeting them at their level. For example, I designed in my Abundance You Inner Circle program, annual program, that's a membership program. We have the success path. It's just like a milestones, right, from this step and to that step. But that's only for reference. And when I'm coaching and mentoring them, everybody could starting at different level and different milestone, right? We will not just like standards for everybody or everyone. You have to go from the first level to which level, right? So that customized guidance I found is super important. And I personally experienced other like big mentors, their program is just like standards for everybody, no matter where you are or wherever you come in or wherever you want to go. It's all like standards, and I just found sometimes after a whole 1 year, I had attended quite some like a whole year mastermind programs, and all at 5 figures, but I just found that kind of a progress is not as desired as I wish or as they market it. The marketing, right? That's the tricks of marketing. Marketing is always like fancy, they have so many successful stories, but when you really get into it, it felt like it's so slow, and there's too much like information overwhelming you, and it's just like they have their structure or framework, and you need to go follow that. And I just found like it's not helping what I am, because I'm a fast, I like to take fast and inspired actions. I just want to move on, right? But then you just found that you are being added extra information, extra like a framework that you need to follow that, and it's adding me extra workload. It's just like a burden. Then it's not like really framing me to meet me where I am, to go where I want. But it's just like standards, everything you have to go through this kind of process and that kind of a framework and or formula. Gosh, that's like especially it's the whole year. Just when I review that whole year, so gosh, I feel I could make a bigger progress, right? Because a lot of time just found that you have to spend the time to study what they are providing instead of to reach where you want to go. Okay, so I hope maybe you have that resolution. You can feel free to comment under my video if you ever had such kind of a program or whatever. You feel like it's not really boost you, accelerate your progress, but instead it's just like dragging you down and like frame you into certain kind of a process you have to go through and overwhelm you with their extra information. Maybe you do not necessarily need it, right? And some mentors or coaches, they record, it's like they are very kind, right? They provide you previously recorded coaching sessions with their previous students. Sounds like a great thing, but my God, some of those coaching sessions could be over 2 or even 3 hours. Can you imagine that? So I said, oh my God, this is not saving me time at all. If I have to spend all the time to review all these materials, what they are sharing, I could not do anything else. Okay, so that's one. That's the first question I want to remind you to review. Are you being coached on universal stuff, like generic stuff or standard stuff, or you are met where you are and have customized the best guidance and recommendation based on your specific needs? So that's the number one. Now the number two question I want to remind you: does your coach or mentor know not just your name, or sometimes maybe they cannot call your name, right, unless it's specific showing there, but do they also know who you truly are and what your call, what's your passion, what's your view, what's your vision, what's your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what your strugglings are now at this currently, and what specifically you are creating at this level? I bet that I spent 5 figures on some sounds like great programs, because it's not just one. I've already experienced this industry for over 13 years. I experienced so many top programs. Even those ones, some of them are not the coaches, if they can barely remember your name, right, from hundreds or even thousands of people. And even though maybe not so many dozens of people, but you never feel that they have a time with you, right? They never have that enough time for you. And maybe you get a chance to ask your question 1 or 2, and after that, no, skip, and next person's turn. Okay, you only get up to maybe 1 or 2 questions. That's it. And then left time, you are left to struggle to figure that out by yourself. So you do not feel like it's really step by step you're fully guided. And do they understand what you are specifically now are creating? I remember when I'm asking some questions, right? Oh, I'm creating this, but they do not have a time to listen to your story. So just like, okay, question directly, and then based on their experience, their expertise, they give you some suggestions. Sometimes it's good, but it's always like that. It's very limited. I would say it's very limited, even though it's good, but it's lacking of the context. It's lacking of for example, sometimes I ask the mentor a question, they answer me the suggestion from them. When I'm doing the market research, right, and could be totally different. So who should you listen to, your mentor or the market research? Both have some, like the mentor is successful, they have some like experience already, but the market research also is like your, maybe your potential audience and the clients, their feedback. So there's some, then that's a proof you can see that sometimes your mentors or coaches suggestions may not necessarily be the best, but they have no time. They have no time to listen to your story or what context or whatever research you've already been done, and then based on that to do further analysis or recommendation. But you do not even have a time to share more information. So that's the point is you are not fully understood. Okay, so it's like everything is just like at a surface level. They do not fully understand what you are called for, what you want to create, or what you are specifically creating. So compared with, I remember, that's why I'm having this kind of a question, because when I'm doing coaching with my clients, even though it's in a small group, right? But every client get their specific like a personal time. So they ask all the questions, they answer all of them are questions, and after by the way, after the coaching call, like a once a week coaching call, right? I even share and review what we did during that coaching call in a small group, and give them that feedback so that they get they do not just need to go back to watch the replay. Who have the time to repeat another 1 hour or 2 hours of replay, right? So I summarize the essentials, the points to comment, so that they can take that on the same day, just make a very accelerated progress, and they finish this and solve this issue, and they can move on to the next one. So the accelerated progress is very obvious. That's why I feel like, wow, this level of coaching I'm providing to my clients, I hope some of my mentors could provide to me, but you could not. Unless you pay 6-figure or even more than that, maybe you get a little bit of 2 or 3 hours with them. That's a crazy part of the coaching industry now. If you do not have for those good ones and great ones, if you do not have 6 figures, you do not even can get close to them and to talk with them in like half an hour or 1 hour. Okay, so that's the second one. It's really how much does your coach, a mentor, know you and providing the, understand what you are called for and what vision and dreams you are, pursuing, and what specifically you're creating. That's the second question. Okay. And number 3, the question, what are you taught to? I found this is super important. It's like the fundamental values. What are you taught? And now just found a trend in the coaching industry. More and more, you can obviously observe, if you are here just in maybe short a few months, you will observe that. What kind of a posts or what kind of a content will be most popular? There must be, most of them are related to money. Money, 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 money. Are you taught to pursue quick, big money and idols? Be cautious here. What kind of idols it's just like seduce, it's not very obviously. But if you really get yourself out of that kind of a situation and reflect, have a more like independent thinking. Think about what kind of values you are lived to. Are you just like very subtly being guided to pursue or even idol those rich models? Focus on how much they make or in how quickly they make that money. And I just found more and more messages, and those popularity, if you see the industry trend, are all getting to money, 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 money. Yes, money is super important. I myself is abundance coach, so every Wednesday is our Wealth Wednesday. We talk about money. We talk about creating wealth as well. I'm not avoiding that. I even really appreciate that's a part of you cannot avoid that. It's a big part of abundance. But think about the fundamental what values are they teaching. If everything they are teaching is surrounding making more money, how to make more money quicker, more quickly, they compete in what kind of level? They compare with the scales of the money, how big size the money you can make, right? That's the marketing competition. Or if this one said make like 6 figure, and then another one is will promote like 7 figures, and there are so many 7 figures coach or mentors there, and some of them make me laugh because when I check their background, check their record. It's very easy actually on the Facebook profile. If you check their background, it's just like sounds like a few months ago they are doing other things, or maybe they are not sharing anything, and suddenly in a few months they appeared as a seven-figure coach or mentor. Gosh, I could not help myself laugh. It's just like, wow, you can just claim anything you want to be, right? And I just hope now you're hearing this message, you will not be like guided into that kind of a trap to really easily to believe in anybody just claiming without some solid base and even solid values. So really pay attention what they are teaching you, okay? The values, or it's just like a disguised money game. Okay, so especially how much value, based on the last question, how much they know you, what you are pursuing, what you are called for, and what kind of values are they guiding you to helping you, and especially empowering. Do you feel empowered? Do you just feel empowered by money, or you are empowered by the coaches, mentors, their integrity, their values, and what they are pursuing, right? What they are creating in this world. And many successful ones, right? Their success is measured by money. Like, oh, I created this kind of level of success. I help that and this clients make that level of success as well. But don't not just like buy in that. Further, investigate how much values they are really providing there. How much for example, even things, are they providing some things even for free out of not just like attracting ideal clients, but really out of their, let's say, their love and compassion and care about a human being's well-being that they are contributing. And even though they are claiming that they are contributing to charities or philanthropy, but double check what kind of real values are they contributing, right? Is that consistent? And what kind of if they are teaching you, are they guiding you to fulfill more values with your greater impact and life's ultimate purpose? Or they are just playing number games, teaching you just to, okay, charging high tickets, offers, and how to focusing on play some games of numbers so that you can quickly make money and become rich. So you really need to even though I'm not saying that all the coaches or mentors who are teaching you how to make more money are not good, but go further to check what's their motivation, what's their values they are sharing with you, and in their own word, what's their value system. You can actually very easily just through a few weeks to check their a few days even to check their the resources they share, their track and records, to see what they've already shared with people, and read their messages, and to say it's just a surface, make money quick, make money big kind of a surface level of coaching and mentoring, or is really in depth to helping you, empowering you to become ultimately fulfilled. Okay, so that's the 3 questions, and now I want to have a quick summary based on those questions, right? I summarize the 10 top mistakes now are happening in the coaching industry. So I hope it could remind you to not just have a better investment in yourself, to know what kind of best values you should invest, but at the same time, if you are a coach and mentor, and this, I hope it could really inspire you and help you to pay attention to see to evaluate and also reflect what values you're really providing in the industry and how you can contribute better and really become a great coach. Okay, so the number 1 mistake. Do you feel you can see that's a mistake? You can also use this as a measurement or criteria to say if you are having the great coaching or not. Okay, number 1 is no time for you. Okay, there are big groups, very little time to answer your specific questions. That could be we can call it's a caution. It's you can call a coaching industry's mistakes. You can also call it some warning signs, right? Warning signs that you should pay attention. Oh, if this is a great or not. Okay. The second one, so all the generic answers, most do not directly solve your challenges and take a long time to move forward. Okay, that's the second one. Number 3, you feel rushed and filtered by how much money you pay. Feel you only deserve how much you pay. Okay, that's totally like I found like a disempowering us, especially like if when you are investing like even 5 figures, shouldn't you deserve more? Deserve more like understanding what you're doing and deserve better answers and guidance to move forward. But if you are feeling rushed and only be judged or how say measured by how much you pay and then you deserve how much some help, then that's definitely not a great one, right? Because their focus and pursuing is totally on money. Okay, number 4, no customized solution and step-by-step guidance meeting where you are. If you just like everything standard and everything is just like one thing is good for one and is good for all, that kind of things like too generic, it's not helping you, it's not the best support to you. Okay, and now number 5, no milestones and no clear progress, and so many programs they marketed very well. Sounds like, oh, there's so many fancy successful cases, but if there's no milestone and clear progress, your results are not guaranteed. Of course, there's no result can guarantee, right? But that means there will be lacking of very tangible progressing and support to help you to get that results, because that means the results is not really focused. They're more focused on the process and more focused on that environment, but not specifically on your results. That's number 5. Okay, number 6, no personal level and in-depth understanding. You feel that they don't care whatever you want to fulfill, but more what they believe worked for them. So people said, oh, if I can do it. Sometimes I really don't like that saying. It's like say, oh, if I can do it, you can. Or if this worked for me, it will work for you too. Who said that? It's like a work for one will work for everybody, and you do not even know where I am and where I want to go. So I personally do not believe in that kind of saying. Okay, so and you do not feel understood and also do not feel connected at all. If you through the coaching and mentoring process, you do not feel like you're connected, that's not a good sign for great coaching. Okay, number 7, low brick and mortar level of help and hard work to create with you and focus on seeing your results. And now I found more and more programs they focusing on high level of coaching, and just like a weekly one session for everybody and maybe answer a few questions, and that's it. You do not feel like the coach or mentor even spend that much time or efforts to help you, and especially no brick and mortars. I remember my clients told me that he did a testimonial, said that I did the bricks and mortars kind of level of work with him, from his ideas to clarify his niche and his niche statement and specify who and what and how, and also help him create his offer from the title to the outlines to what specifically the value ladders. All those kind of coaching are really bricks and models I help my clients to make, even though I do not necessarily need to do that. And even after that, after I worked with them, I even outlined this what we discussed and put the outlines to share with them so they could have a better information to work on, so that they could have more accelerated progress. So are you getting only like a high level, or are you really getting like a bricks and mortar level of help that can really make you progress quickly, and that you can quickly get into market to test if it's working or not, instead of like figuring, even though you paid sorry for that. Wow, somebody is calling. Okay, sorry for that interruption. So it's like you paid much and you have to spend weeks or even months to figure everything out by yourself. Then that's not really a great, the best coaching to help you make progress and see your results, right? And number 8. Yes, we see that mindset is important. Mindset. But if most of their inspirations are at a mental level, it sounds like a very wise, but it's just a mental level. You could not feel like a heart level of touching and transformation of your life. That's a sign that it's not a great coaching. It's just like a surface. It sounds like a mindset. It's great, right? But it's still like too generic. You're not feel like your heart is touched and you're opened and you're transformed and you are inspired that you cannot wait to take action. And then that's a sign, oh, this may be not the best coaching for you. Okay. Now number 9. You were taught to, let me see. I have some like guideline here for me to review quickly. You were taught to worship money and rich idols. That's some fundamental values. Okay, worship marketing and sales, worship strategies and impressions, or sometimes the fames, right, or reputations like fames. I would say instead of true values and impact. Even some like I know some mentors, they teach you how to become more visible, how to become more like how to say heard or seen, that kind of a level of so you can attract more clients. But they focus on the marketing level, focusing on the sales level, focusing on the making more money level, focusing on how to build up your own attraction or image level. Then that's not good enough, right? It's not great enough. You want to the coaching and the mentoring to empower you to really get instead like under your onto the like in-depth true values and impact, not for your own reason, but more for fulfilling your ultimate purpose and to help other people. Okay, so that's number 9. Number 10, the coaching relationship is only maintained based on how much money. If you are keep investing, or how to say, if you are keep paying, that coaching relationship will continue. Otherwise, it's ended. It's totally ended. You will be out. If you are not paying money, you will be out of that community or like a circle. Gosh. And they do not even care about maintain a continuous relationship with you. And then that's definitely a big sign of the coach and mentor. It's not great. Okay, it's just like more for their own benefits, but not for your long-term growth benefits. Okay, so that's today's I shared with you and asking you those 3 questions, and hope that will inspire you to think further and also remind you those 10 mistakes or the warning signs of not so great coaching or services you may be looking at. So I hope that will inspire you to really be, let's say, be awake from what the coaching industry, the trend is going to. Be cautious and be warned, and how now focusing on, because those mistakes, I do not want you to repeat that. And also you can measure that what kind of a guidance you are getting, if that is a great one or it's just like falling into those warning signs, so that you can help you to get the best values with your investment, with your precious money, time, not just money, right? Especially the time and energy. That's more what you invest in yourself. So that's more important. And also helping you, if you are a coach and a mentor, to helping other people, how could you provide the best values and do not fall into those traps. All right, thank you so much. I hope you really enjoyed this session and get a great inspirations, and feel free to comment. I would be happy to see if there's any comment. Oh, Joseph Scott, what are the areas of coaching one should find coaches in? Let me see. Sorry I did not see your question earlier. He mentioned about what the areas of coaching one should find coaches in. Oh, abundance mindset, business launch, marketing, emotional healing, productivity. These are ones I'm considering. Yes, it's definitely which one to meet where you are now. I'm glad you found those specific areas. But like, for example, productivity. And productivity is not just for your productivity, right? It's productivity is more based on how much is like you are aligned with your purpose and passion, and how much like you really are clear and with the clarity about where you are going, your vision, and the niche, who you are serving, and what your problem you are helping them solving, and how you can help them, right? All those things will decide your productivity. So everything, those ones are not separate at all. Joseph, I hope you get a chance to watch this replay, or maybe my answering to your questions. It's not those like emotional healing, business launch and marketing, those things with your abundance mindset are not separate at all. All those are like organically aligned together. Like for example, if I coach my clients, I will not just coach their abundance mindset. We coach from the mindset, and then focus on how they can really practice that, right? And into their specific business ideas, their niche, and to go launching. And then how they can do the marketing to connect with their ideal audience and have the, how to say, create the greater productivity that they can serve the best. So everything is like really in like connect together. So I'm glad that this is now you know which areas you need help. So definitely by the way, I will share at the end of this after this coaching session, I will share under my video our Abundance You Inner Circle coaching program. I would encourage you to check that because that's the perfect place for you to get all those areas coached on, okay? And eventually it's like from inside of you to really release, to unleash in the market, to really generate that kind of impact, to provide the best values you can provide in the market. Joseph also asked, in my experience, a good coach provides you with homework to do every day. Of course, yeah, and the week then works with you to overcome your obstacles. Definitely, like homework. That's a part you are. Yeah. Oh, somebody is really insisted to calling me. Sorry for that. Are you saying my questions? Yeah, I'm now saying I'm giving Joseph the a heart, so he knows that I'm answering him. Definitely, the coaching should not be just like, for example, just like every week one session and 1 hour. That's it. After that, that's it. No, the great coaches really give you that homework and actually not give you, I should not say, to empower you to define your own homework, like your own goals between the intervals of the coaching sessions, and hold you accountable. And not just hold you accountable, it's really empower you to accomplish that. So the next time we can celebrate together. So definitely, and also I mentioned earlier that I always have that milestones and progress to work together with you to define your own milestones and also your own success paths, so that you have a clear roadmap to know that where you want to go, and in between where are those role model like milestones you can make, so that could really you can hold yourself accountable as well, and your coach is lifting up to accomplish every step, so that your results are measurable. Okay, all right, okay, I hope that answered your question, Joseph, and I look forward to have the having the opportunities to working with you. If you are interested in double check our Abundance You Inner Circle. Okay, so everyone, hope you enjoyed this session, and we will see you soon, and take this momentum to create your abundant week. And next Monday we will see you again on our Momentum Monday. Okay, bye.